Hey there, I'm Pat Samuel. I'm Trout's Bay Area Program Manager. I first became interested in environmental issues at a young age. I grew up in New Jersey, and my favorite thing to do as a kid was to go fishing. So pretty early on, maybe 8 or 9, I knew I wanted to study fish. I just knew that's what I wanted to spend my time doing. And ever since then, I just tried to be outside as much as possible. I didn't like sitting inside. I couldn't see myself having a desk job in an office or something. So that's really what set the stage for me to go into this field and become a fisheries biologist. So out of high school, in the Sacramento area, I went to pursue an environmental science degree in the Bay Area at Berkeley. And my first job out of college was working for California Department of Fish and Wildlife. They needed seasonal technicians to do all sorts of work up in the mountains and to do surveys, and that sounded right up my alley. So I applied and got hired, and that really started me on the path to eventually becoming a fish biologist. After a few years of working, I went back to graduate school at the University of Rhode Island, and I studied how fishing regulations get set for commercial fisheries out at sea. After that, I came back to California and eventually started working for California Trout about 5 years ago. I think really what made me realize this is a career for me is doing field work, and that's one of the things that I love most about my job. I get to go out for site visits or do field work where we actually get to survey and squeeze fish. So one of my favorite jobs right out of school was working with Department of Fish and Wildlife to do trout surveys all over California. And one of my favorite stories was we got to go snorkel with, basically wetsuits and snorkels and masks in these really cold rivers up in the Sierra and swim with trout. And it was really cool getting to see these fish behave underwater, see what they eat, where they like to hang out, what their habits are like, and that just for me was really powerful, and I really liked that a lot. I remember one time I was snorkeling in a creek near Chico, California, and I was coming downstream and I kind of ended up in this pool, this plunge pool, so there's bubbles all over the place you couldn't really see, and you can't really hear very well underwater. And I came face to face with about a 3-foot long spring run Chinook salmon, which was just awesome, and we were probably both equally shocked to see one another in this little pool. I mean, no bigger than the size of me. So that was pretty cool, both looking at each other like, whoa. And ever since then, I just have been hooked and just love getting out in the field and getting a chance to see fish in their natural environment. I think one of the things that I really miss now in my current job is I don't get a chance to snorkel as much. I still get to sometimes in certain creeks in the Bay Area, but that's the thing that really grabbed me and made me want to be a fish biologist.